What's up, fellow Crash Bandicoot fans? It's Austin CB here, and welcome back to another video. So when it comes down to my personal preference on the Crash games, Crash of the Titans has always remained as one of my favorite games in the series. And ever since I've started collecting Crash merchandise, I've been trying my best to find whatever Titans-related stuff that I could. Now, I do have a handful of stuff within my collection that I have to showcase today, but a lot of it's really rare and obscure. Now, when you look back on Crash's earlier days, he got a variety of merchandise, like action figures, plushes, keychains, you name it. But around the time Titans released, we really didn't see that, so everything is pretty hidden under the radar, specific things released in certain countries. So today we're going to be taking a look at my entire Crash of the Titans collection. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into it. So before we take a look at the merchandise, I figured it would just make sense to start with the games first. So first up, I have my PlayStation 2 copy of Crash of the Titans. Complete manual and everything. And one thing I want to point out, when I collect the Crash games, I also go for the regional variants, so like PAL, NTSC-J, all that stuff. So of course I have the PAL release. And pretty much everything's identical, like just to compare the box arts. Now, some of the Crash games do have different box arts between the regions, but Titans was one of those games that didn't feature a different box art, which is interesting, and it also wasn't released in Japan, so I don't have a Japanese version to show you, but I also have the PlayStation Platinum version of Titans as well. And this is interesting too, because Platinum is basically the equivalent of the US's Greatest Hits label, but the US never got a Greatest Hits label of Titans, but Europe got Platinum. And then I also have the Xbox 360 version of Crash of the Titans. And I do not own the Wii or PSP versions of the games, but they are on my list. I may pick those up at some point. But for now, those are the main console versions that I have. Adding on to the console section of the video, I do have one special edition to show you guys. So this special edition was exclusive to Europe, so this one was not available within the States, which is really unfortunate because I actually really like this bundle. So this is the Crash of the Titans Monster Edition bundle. And yeah, this bundle, presentation-wise, is probably my favorite Crash Bandicoot bundle out there. It's just a really nice bundle. You get a lot of neat things with it. So of course, on the front of the cover, you get a list of the things that are included. And then if you flip over to the back, of course, you get an overview of everything else as well. So the cover is actually just a sleeve that you can slide off, which reveals a pencil case or a zipper case, which of course has a embroidery of Titans Crash on the front. So if we go ahead and unzip this here, we will see that we have the game inside. And this is, of course, the PAL release. And if we open it up, we have even more goodies on the inside. So starting off with the accessories here, we have this Crash head phone dangler, but you can even use this as a keychain piece if you wanted to. Pretty nice. Next up here, we have a set of assorted stickers. And then we also have some included washable arm tattoos. And then, of course, we have the main game in the back here. However, this is probably what you're going to want this bundle for. This is the bonus DVD, which contains extra content, as well as a fun interview-style video of the Crash mascot running around, radical entertainment, and just having some fun. I'll go ahead and link that video on screen now for those of you that want to check it out. But the disc basically contains like game hints, I believe a trailer for Legend of Spyro, and some concept art as well. So overall, just a really nice bundle. I'm hoping to pick this one up sealed at some point, but for now, I'm just happy that I own it. Next up, I have all of my portable versions of Crash of the Titans, so starting off with the Game Boy Advance version. And honestly, this version gets a lot of hate, which honestly surprised me because as a kid, I really enjoyed this port. You know, I really enjoyed the art style and the music. The controls were a little iffy, but once you got past those, I personally enjoyed the game. Of course, I also have the European version as well. Again, no major difference between box arts. And then next up, I have the Nintendo DS version of Crash of the Titans, and this is probably my favorite version of Crash of the Titans. I just absolutely adore this game. It's pretty good. If you haven't tried it out, I would highly recommend it. And then, of course, I also picked up a sealed version. I actually picked this up for like 20 bucks late last year, so this was a pretty good deal in my opinion. And then last up, I have the PAL version of Titans DS, which, again, no major difference in the box art, but it does have a different case this time around. It's more bulky. And yeah, so that concludes the game section. Let's go ahead and move on to some merchandise. Alrighty, so now that we've concluded the game section of the video, let's go ahead and move on to some merchandise. So the first item I have to show you is an unopened Crash of the Titans themed Rubik's Cube. And of course, each side features a different character from the game. Very nice. And then the next item I have here, technically this is a Mind Over Mutant branded item, but literally all of the character designs are from Titans, so I'm going to go ahead and throw it in this video anyway. This is a magnet set, and of course it features magnets of the characters. Very nice. And then the next thing I have here, this is actually a pretty obscure item. So this is a promotional bag, and I do apologize for the glare in advance. It's just the material that this is made of, it reflects light differently. But on the back here, the text is in French, so I'm pretty sure this was a French exclusive at the time, assuming it might have been a pre-order bonus for getting the game. But I do really like the art on the front here. And then of course you've got the different versions listed on the bottom of the bag. I also have these custom button pins. So I have Crash, and then I have the Ratsicle. So this here is one of the few customs that I have in my collection, and this is a 3D print of Titans Crash. And I gotta say, I absolutely love this figure. It's actually done in sandstone, so it's got a very coarse texture to it. And unfortunately, mine has had some chipping over the years, just because of its fragility. But all of the details are there, even the paw prints under his shoes. His smile is there, the mohawk details are there, just everything, even the shading on his fur. It's just an incredible figure. Now, I got this from a site called Shapeways, which I will go ahead and link down below if you're interested. You do have the option to get these glazed as well. I believe this is the glazed version, but it still has that coarseness to it. Now, there is an official Crash of the Titans figure that does exist, but only 15 of those were ever made, so my chances of ever finding one of those is pretty much close to impossible. But if you're looking for a nice Titans figure to substitute, this is a pretty awesome figure to go with. So this next part here is going to feature some of the printed media that I have. So the first thing I have here is the Crash of the Titans official game guide by Prima. And of course this features all of the tips and tricks and strategies to help get you through the game. Pretty nice little book. And then the next thing I have here is currently the only Crash of the Titans magazine that I have. This is an issue of MCV magazine, which features artwork of Titans on the covers. And if we open up the first page here, we'll see we get some information on the marketing, as well as some pictures of the displays and promotional items at the time. And the rest of the magazine basically just features a bunch of various gaming information from the time. And then the very last page features another promotion for Titans. Pretty nice little book. And the last piece I have here is a cutout from a magazine. I forgot what issue it is, but it features an ad for the mobile version of Crash of the Titans. And I'll also put a scan of this on screen now for better quality. Yeah, pretty nice little version of the game as well. Up next, I have this promotional Crash of the Titans poster. This is a double-sided poster, and this was displayed up in various retailers to help promote the game at the time. I'm just going to go ahead and throw up a screenshot of it right now, just because I don't currently have it set up, so I can't record it yet. But yeah, this was a poster I had been looking for a while, so I'm really glad I was able to get a hold of that one. So let's go ahead and take a step back to the DS version of Crash of the Titans. So I have a couple of really obscure pieces to share with you here. The first one being a sealed Crash of the Titans DS accessory bundle. And I believe this was exclusive to France because the text that is present is in French, and it is still sealed, although the packaging has had some damage over the years, but this is currently the only one that I've been able to find, and it comes with an orange DS stylus. This is labeled as a screen cleaner, so this would be used to clean off the screen to your console. Of course, you get the game, and this is the PAL version, and then on the back here, we have a zipper case. So this one is actually very similar to the Crash Boom Bang promotional DS case, if you've ever seen that. And yeah, pretty obscure bundle. And then, of course, the next thing, I have the unreleased Crash of the Titans Project Art Book, which was given out to members at Amaze Entertainment while working on the game. I did do a flick-through of this art book a while back, so I'll go ahead and link that on screen now if you're interested in checking that out. So, taking a temporary step back from our lighting studio here, I have a promotional Crash and Spyro themed skateboard to showcase here. Now, this skateboard was exclusive to an event called the Crash and Spyro Wheels promotion back in 2007, and basically it was like a sweepstakes event, so you could enter into a drawing and you'd have a chance to win an item with Crash and Spyro themed decals on them, and this skateboard was one of those items that you could win. Now, if we take a look at the bottom here, you'll see we have a hero graded stamp, and that pretty much confirms that this skateboard was part of that promotion. So I personally don't skateboard, or I don't skate, but when I saw this pop up on eBay one day, I just had to take my opportunity to snatch it up. These things don't come up very often. Honestly, this is the only one that I have ever seen go up for sale, and yeah, it's just a really, really cool piece, and honestly, one of my favorite Titans pieces out there. So I have a couple more promotional pieces to showcase here. The first piece is a t-shirt, a promotional t-shirt for the school and youth programs to help promote the fight against leukemia and lymphoma. So we have Join the Fight Against Leukemia, Crash Bandicoot is in, Are You? Then we have Titans Crash on the cover. There is more merchandise around this promotion, however, a lot of it is pretty obscure nowadays, so I have yet to track those things down, so for now, I just have the shirt. And then the next item here is a large promotional pull string bag. So if you've ever seen the Crash Twinsanity pull string bag, this one is pretty similar to that one, although this one is a little bit bigger and obviously themed after Crash of the Titans. So moving on to the final item of this video, I wanted to save this one for last, not only because it's the rarest Crash of the Titans thing I own, but because it's one of the rarest Crash things that I own in general. So this is the Crash of the Titans Wumpa Juice energy drink. And when I say this thing is obscure, I'm talking scraping the bottom of the barrel obscure. This thing is near impossible to find. So only 2 of these have ever been sold online. One of them did sell back in 2018, and the one that I currently own now sold back in 2020, and of course it is still sealed. So you might be wondering, okay, where did this come from? So the person that sold one of these cans back in 2018 actually provided some information on the can, and I'll go ahead and post an article link down below in the description to an article from Crashy News that briefly goes over this can. Well, the seller had attended this video game expo event in the UK, presumably a demo event for Crash of the Titans, and there they were able to get a hold of one of these energy drinks. So looking back, most people probably would have tried the drink and then pitched the can. You know, people probably didn't try it at all, who knows, but very few cans have managed to survive over the years. As far as I know, only 2 of them still exist. The one that sold back in 2018, and then the one that I am currently in possession of. Now, this drink did expire back in 2009. I've had requests to open this and try it, but I don't think that's ever going to happen. I personally don't want to rot my intestines out, but yeah, a couple people have provided information on what the drink had tasted like. The original seller had said that it tasted like Dr. Pepper, which is interesting because you would expect a lump of fruit to taste, you know, sweet, maybe sour, maybe like a mango, but Dr. Pepper was the last thing that I would have guessed. A couple other people said it tasted like Red Bull, like just standard Red Bull, so yeah, I'm not sure. I will probably never know what this tastes like because I have no plans on drinking it. I do know at some point I will need to drain the can just because it is a carbonated beverage, and carbonated drinks do have a high risk of leaking and exploding, but I have kept it at a pretty good temperature to where it's cool so it doesn't overheat. But yeah, that is my rarest Crash of the Titans item. And with that being concluded, that concludes this showcase video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, feel free to drop a like. Comment down below if you have any questions on anything from the video, and feel free to subscribe for more future content. I've been It's Austin CB, and thank you so much for watching.